Jack, tell me what you feel. What do you mean?
I'm mad, and I am irritated, and I'm frustrated at you. No, I'm not really. But we're talking about speaking up about our feelings, right?
Yeah, unexpressed feelings don't usually get addressed. They don't usually get resolved. And so if you're carrying your feelings instead of talking about them and expecting people to read your mind and adjust for it, well, that's just dumb. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and it creates a really weird cycle, because what happens is, let's say my wife says something to me in a weird tone, and I don't like it, and I take it weird, and I don't speak up about that thing, right? Well, then I'm just going to be reacting from that interpretation that I had. And so I might be standoffish, I might be a little more isolated, I might be short with my words to her, and she has no idea why I'm being that way. So for her, it's like, well, why you're being weird to me for no reason at all. So then she starts being, and next thing you know, we're just all because I didn't say, hey, can you please not say that like that, please, right? And so speaking up really matters, because you can get in a really weird place with somebody if you don't.
Your words are okay. You're allowed to have feelings. In fact, emotional awareness can lead to emotional regulation. And so I would say a lot of times people who internalize this stuff and don't actually process it or express it, they allow it to grow. When you address it when it's small, it's easy to address. When you wait till it gets big enough for you to say something, then it's usually quite a bit more problematic.
Yeah, what's the old saying? Nip it in the bud, right? That's the old... Bud, I think it's a flower. Sorry, you cut it off as trimming roses. Trimming roses. Yeah, right. I think it's important to take care of it right when it happens. And I think a lot of times people don't do this because they're fearful of the response of the other person. Well, if I say something, then the other person will respond like this, and then you create this whole narrative in your head about what's going to happen, and then you talk yourself out of doing the appropriate thing, which is speaking up. Don't just assume and make believe what's going to happen when you say this. The most important thing is that you say it. And if the other person, if you say it in a charitable, loving, caring, kind way, and the other person responds weird, that's on them.
It is not wrong for kids to have the full spectrum of emotion. And I see parents regularly punish their children for getting mad. Well, they have feelings too. You have feelings too. And oftentimes unexpressed feelings turn into resentments, or they turn into cognitions, which do a lot more harm. Speak what you feel you're allowed to. Hopefully you create a culture in your home, with your family, with your kids, with your workers, where feelings aren't the enemy, they're information, and you grow from them.
Yeah, one thing I do with my kids is every now and then I'll ask them, hey, is there anything that I'm doing or that I've done that bothers you, or that's bothered you? Because I want to know, right? And I want them to have the freedom to speak up and say, hey, Daddy, earlier you got mad at me, and I feel like that was a little unfair. What? How can you say that? I'm the parent. No, I want them to be able to speak to me, because maybe I was unfair. I'm not perfect either. And I think being able to allow your kids to have those conversations is important if you really want to build a relationship with them.
Let them learn to make their case and learn to hear their case. You'll find out sometimes they're right. You'll find out where their cognitive distortions are, and you can help them learn to navigate them appropriately. Because why in the world should a child know how an adult thinks? How in the world should I know how Jack thinks? We grew up in different places. We came from different worlds. And that happens when we talk and we express what we're feeling instead of expecting people to know what we're feeling or thinking. If you need help gathering the confidence to say what you feel, or overcoming the feelings that you're having that you're like, I don't want that to be what defines me, well, we would love to work with you, and we'd love to take the time to walk through those and process them and do all that good stuff.